MD Prepper here, giving you a tabletop review of the Walther PPX and 9mm, also available in 40. I picked this up from a small local gun show a few months ago for $300. Comes with, obviously, the pistol and two 16-round magazines. You're going to be hard-pressed to find a better quality, full-size polymer handgun for $300 of this quality. It's just not out there. Shot about 350, 400 rounds through it. I have one complaint about that. We'll get to that later. Fired all of them perfectly fine and accurate. Had some ejection issues, sort of. We'll talk about that towards the end. Give the overall stats of this thing. 4-inch barrel, has a 6.5 pound trigger pull. This is not a striker fired pistol, it's a bobbed hammer. See that at the back. Does not really feel like a hammer fired pistol when you're pulling the trigger. These safety sallies. Very light trigger, especially for something that's technically a double action only. It's going to be hard to show here, hard to see. Very light, very good trigger. Does not have restrike capability, but this is quality Walther. You're probably not going to have that issue. It's got a 10 for finish. It's got 3-dot sights on it. It's got this new Walther style texturing that hopefully the camera will pick up. Looks a little odd, but feels really good. Not too gritty or sandpapery like a lot of things, like a SIG, for example. This hump on the back feels really good for my standard-sized hands. They're not replaceable or anything like your higher-end new polymer pistols by Walther, but for your average-sized guy, feels great. Bigger hands, I think, would work well. If you're a female shooter or somebody with smaller hands, it might be a problem. Bore axis is a little higher than most of your polymer pistols these days. This feels a lot like a SIG when you're pulling the trigger and feeling the recoil to me. Don't have a huge amount of SIG experience, but some. That's what it feels like to me. The accessory rail up here, obviously, if you want flashlight, lasers, etc. There aren't a lot of accessories out there for this. Did find an excellent polymer retention holster from an Israeli company that escapes me at the moment. I'll have to do a review on that later. But very reasonably priced. I think it was 25, 30 bucks. Decent holster, lots of options. Other stats on this. Length is 7.3 inches overall with a 4-inch barrel. Height is 5.6 inches. Width is 1.3 inches. Overall weight with an empty magazine is 27 ounces, so that's right in there with the competition of similar sized pistols. 10 for finish on the slide, which very resistant, as we know. And overall, an excellent shooter. If you're going to compare this to anything out there in the modern world, I won't say price point wise, but as far as dimensions, etc., it would be the SIG 2022 SIG Pro, if you will, for the old school. They're almost identical in dimensions. I will probably do a head-to-head comparison because they're good comparison there, but this is a heck of a lot cheaper, $100 to $150 less or so compared to that SIG. Had no failures to fire. Quite accurate. I do not have a target here to show you because of my one concern with this. When I'm shooting 115 grain target ammo, the extractor flips this stuff up right over my head. Okay, half the rounds when I pull the trigger end up hitting me on the top of the head, the back of the head. I can feel it go down in the back of my shirt, something like that, banging against my forehead, etc. Easy to clean up with the brass because it's all right behind me, but I'd say 50% of the 115 grain rounds I've fired have either hit me in some way or barely grazed me. You could feel them, you know, going down the back of your shirt, something like that, falling off your back. That's annoying. I thought that was probably an issue with the gun being real tight, but after 350 plus rounds, it's still an issue. Now, as soon as I switched out to 124 grain or heavier, or defensive loads, 135 grain, 147, whatever, no problems at all. Never had that issue. But the 115 grains, I've tried multiple, Winchester White Box, Federal Bulk stuff, a bunch of other target ammo I had laying around, thinking it may be brand specific. It's not. I had 5 rounds back to back that every last one of them landed on top of my head. That's very annoying when you're target shooting. And I found myself, when I switched out to other pistols at the range, flinching, waiting for that brass to hit me. That's not good. So this is probably just my pistol. It's probably something that will work itself out. I've not seen any complaints online about that, but that has been a consistent issue with 115 grain full metal jacket ammo for me. And it hurt my shooting, frankly. That twitching, I got less tight groups. When I slowed down, just fired one single round at a time, waiting for it, accuracy improved, very good, comparable to any of my other polymer pistols, maybe a little bit better. So for $300, it's great. Love it. Again, hopefully I'll just be shooting ammo other than 115 grains. So, and look for a head-to-head comparison at some point versus the SIG. I think they'd be a good matchup. Anyway, give me your thoughts, and especially if you had any feedback about one of those 115 grain rounds or brass cases rather, keep bopping me in the head. That'd be much appreciated. Indy Prepper out.